Welcome to episode 162 of the Concealed Taco Dudes podcast. Woo! So, today we have me, Taco.
Jason with Concealment Solutions.
And
that's all.
Yeah. And we're going to try and make this, I know we always say this, but this time we really got to keep it short. But we're going to do a lunchtime episode that's short,
But it's going to be packed with excitement and high
blood,
energy.
Blood and gore and guts. So, all right. Let's go ahead and knock out the sponsors real quick. So, NOEbulletmolds.com, the finest bullet molds on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you are wanting to shoot more and save more money, then that's a way to do it.
Yep. And what's the discount code?
FLT001. It'll save you 10%, I believe.
Yeah. And Utah Air Guns at utahairguns.com, the finest purveyors of air gunning equipment.
Yes.
Good stuff. I've spent some time down there lately.
We'll spent some time using their gear lately.
Yes, I know.
We'll talk about that later.
I know. But go check them out. There's a lot of cool new guns out. Some super nice high-end stuff. Some good lower-end stuff. So they've got everything. RMAC is next week. Rocky Mountain Air Gun Challenge.
Are you going to go?
If I can get away for one of the days, I'd like to go and just watch and see what's what.
I want to go at least for one day. Both Jason and I, our schedules are so packed. It's
packed with
crazy
fun and excitement.
And service. Serving the youth of our country.
Yeah. Anyway, go check out Utah Air Guns at utahairguns.com. Use the code AIRCANDY. You'll get free shipping and free turret stickers. Black Ice at Black Ice Coatings. Fine gun finishes, Teflon coating, Cerakoting, hydro dipping. I'm sure there's more stuff.
Yeah, so just as a testament to the fine quality of his coatings, Jason and I went on that one canyon together.
Yeah, we did do a canyon.
Jason got to witness and behold the awesomeness of the new Taco climbing helmet.
The green iridescent skulls.
Dude, it looks so cool.
It does. It does look good.
I have a one-of-a-kind, unique climbing helmet.
Yep.
And even though it's the same model as, like, everyone in my family, and apparently you guys have the same one too.
The same one I do.
Yeah. So, anyways, we got that dipped. He painted a kind of a neon green coating, and then dipped the skulls, like the black and silver skulls.
Right.
And so the way that it's semi-transparent. And so the green shines through underneath, but depending on where the sun is shining on it, it's a little different.
It almost has a chameleon effect where
it's so cool.
Color changes depending on the angle you look at it.
Yeah, I'll need to post a picture of it on Instagram or video or something. But blackicecoatings.com.
Yep, go check them out. Mag Holder at magholder.com. Horizontal mag carriers. He's got lots of other things, belts and other kind of cleaning mats, all that kind of stuff. I think he's even got sunglasses and knives. That's all Mag Holder branded. So go check out Mag Holder at magholder.com. Use the code Get in the Van. I have candy, and you'll save a bunch. I don't remember how much it is.
Okay. So I wonder if you could get sunglasses from Mag Holder and then take the lenses out and then have Black Ice Coatings.
Dip them.
So Lee, if you're listening, have you ever...
He's swearing at you right now. No! That'd be horrible!
Yeah. So anyways, apparently my helmet was a nightmare of a project, but he did a good job.
He did.
I'm happy with it.
He did do a good job. Concealment Solutions at concealmentsolutions.com. So, we are having an event coming up the Saturday before Father's Day, which I believe is the 17th. So, about a week and a half from the time we're recording this. Open house at Concealment Solutions in Orem, Utah. You can jump on the website if you need the address. I'll be posting stuff on social media. But we'll be showing off some of the new products, all the new. I can't say all the new knives because I've sold out of some of the models. I've got more coming, and I've got stuff coming that I haven't put on the website. yet because I don't have it, but I'm really, really hoping those are going to be here before this event. But as you know, they're handmade knives out of Ukraine, so I am...
they have to go on a boat.
Yeah, there I am waiting. Yeah, it's been weeks since I've ordered them, so they could be here, they might not. Anyway, so big event coming up for that. So if you're in town, take some time on that Saturday, June 17th, to swing by the shop and at least come by and say hello, see what's new. We'll have some extra special deals going on that weekend. In the meantime, you can get on concealmentsolutions.com, and if you use the code SHOWMETHECANDY, you'll save 15% off your order.
Awesome.
And that's our sponsors.
Awesome. We're going to skip listener feedback this week.
Okay.
For time's sake, but then let's go ahead and...
I have two news
stories.
One's better than the other, but I still felt like I wanted to read both.
And I got a news story sent to me from one of our listeners, but we'll have to maybe do it next time.
Save that for next time.
Yeah.
And now, the news. Okay, this happened in Philadelphia. Isn't that the city of brotherly love?
I think so. I think that's what they say.
Yeah. A 22-year-old man was shot by a woman after he broke the window of her vehicle in University City with a crowbar. The shooting happened in the intersection of 30th and Chestnut Streets. Police called it a road rage incident. Police said the 27-year-old woman was in her vehicle in University City when the 22-year-old man approached her car with a crowbar after he broke the woman's passenger side rear window. So he's on the opposite side. He's behind her on the opposite side of the car. The 27-year-old woman shot the man in the groin.
Oh!
Which I'm thinking, she's in the car, he's out of the car. How'd she hit him in the groin? Did she shoot through the door or something? Or maybe he's really tall.
Yeah.
Police said the man dropped the crowbar in the woman's vehicle and hopped in his car and drove to City Center. That's...
the hospital?
Really creative names for these. Or Center City.
Center City.
From University City to Center City. Philadelphia needs to get a little more creative with their cities, I think. Authorities found the man outside of his vehicle at the intersection of 23rd and Market Street, suffering from a gunshot wound to his groin. So he didn't make it to the hospital. The 22-year-old man was placed in critical condition at Presbyterian Hospital, according to police. Police said the woman has a license to carry. They found the one spent shell casing in her vehicle. This is the only thing that bothers me, is that the shooting is under investigation.
Huh.
Sounds... I understand you have to investigate anything, even if it looks cut and dry.
Yeah.
But...
well, and the guy who got shot in the groin was probably said,
he's got a different story.
I was just walking by this lady and she
I accidentally broke her window with my crowbar.
I didn't mean to, and then she shot me.
While I was apologizing. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. This next one I think is a little bit more interesting.
Pause for a second.
This one takes place in Central City.
Oh, great. So
not Center City, not University
City,
okay. This is in New Orleans. Central City, New Orleans. Which New Orleans is its own city. Anyway, Roderick Bennett got more than he bargained for when he pulled a gun on a clerk at a Central City retail store, judging from documents that New Orleans police filed in court. Not only did the clerk also produce a firearm and shooting him, meaning Bennett, in trying to drive to a... oh wait, this is... journalists, please learn how to write! Okay, not only did the clerk also produce a firearm and shoot him, Bennett, in trying to drive to a hospital for treatment, crashed his car. And on Thursday, police arrested him on a charge of threatening the clerk in the first place. They booked Bennett, 49, with aggravated assault with a gun and possession of a gun by a convicted felon. How could he have possibly got it?
Yeah.
Police said Bennett was arguing an item's price, April 11th, with an employee at the Dollar General store in the 2800 block of South Claiborne Avenue. A witness told them that Bennett pointed a gun at the employee, prompting the employee to shoot him in the chest.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So here's the
No
thing.
wonder he crashed his car.
He goes to the dollar store.
Yeah.
And it's $1.10 or something, or maybe it's $2.
Yeah.
They've raised the price.
The Dollar General, because that's a chain, I don't think maybe they are. Maybe I'm confused with it. There's another store that has dollar in the name that's not an actual dollar store. It's just like a cheap crap store.
Yeah, junk store.
Right. But either way, yeah.
I'm only gonna pay $1.
Yeah.
No, this is $2. No, I'm paying $1.
It's $1.05. It's inflation. I don't believe in inflation. Yeah. So get this. So he points a gun at the guy, which seems a bit irrational.
Yeah.
Over what couldn't have been more than $1 or $2.
I know. That's like, what is your life worth?
Right.
Apparently, is worth $1.
Yeah. Yeah. The clerk, element of surprise, because I'm sure he's carrying concealed, or the guy wouldn't have been pointing a gun at him if he knew he was armed, shoots him in the chest. Bennett, after being shot in the chest, crawled to his car, but en route to the hospital, he crashed the vehicle.
Another
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Police wrote in documents filed in the criminal court case. Anyway, someone picked again, journals, please learn how to write. Or get a proofreader. Someone picked him and drove him the rest of the way.
Picked him up.
I'm assuming. No, they just picked him. And he was taken into surgery in critical condition, the document says. 6 days later, detectives interviewed Bennett. He told them he didn't remember anything, including the argument. On April 26, police interviewed the store employee. He said Bennett started the argument and soon asked him to go outside to fight. Did Bennett ask him to go outside to fight, or did he say, all right, Bennett, let's go outside and fight? Because that could play a big difference in how his court case is going to go, right?
Yeah.
Surveillance video showed Bennett leaving the store by the front door, then pulling a gun and approaching the employee as they argued. The employee, too, pulled out a gun and fired it, striking Bennett. They've set Bennett's bail at $95,000. So, that one would be interesting to see a follow-up. Because if the clerk says, let's go outside, that could play badly on his part. Unless he's like, hey, you know what? You're making a scene in the store. Let's go outside and talk about this. And the guy pulls a gun, and then he's like, oh, I got one too. Bang. That one's a little bit in a gray area for me, you know? I think...
well, once the guy pulled a gun, escalated the situation, then...
Sure.
It's met by equal force.
Yeah.
So,
and judging by that he's the one in jail and has a $95,000 bail, it seems like things are in the clerk's favor.
Yes.
But I would be more inclined in a situation like that if the guy's like, let's go outside, and, you know, all right, let's go outside. He goes outside, I lock the door behind him and call the police.
Yeah.
Will you come get this guy out of my place?
Yeah.
You know, but in his defense, I'm sure he didn't know it was going to go to that, and yeah. But anyway, more proof that there are stupid, crazy people out there.
A lot of them. I think more and more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For sure. Should we talk about what we did with guns?
Yeah, you go
I'll
first.
Go first,
and then it will lead into the topic.
Yes.
What'd you do? You said you went to Utah Air Guns?
I did. My Notos came in, so I picked it up. I have a scope. I have a Vortex Crossfire 2. Just a little, like, just 22. Nothing super fancy, but decent. And I thought I had scope... I do have scope rings.
But not
I have
the right
two
size.
sets of scope rings, but they're 30 mil and it's a 1 inch. So I'm like, gah!
Did you get it mounted yet or no?
No. I just picked it up yesterday.
You should bring it over. I might have extra scope rings.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just going to go get some.
Yeah.
And an extra magazine, since it only came with one.
Well, you could do that too.
Those magazines are tiny.
Yeah, they are.
It would be nice.
How many does it hold? Like
I think it only holds 7.
Yeah.
That's a little bit disappointing, but, you know, I like it.
Very small, compact.
It's very small, very compact, has an integrated moderator, so there's no need to... In fact, I don't even think you could add a moderator to it. I haven't shot it yet, obviously, because I haven't got a optic mounted on it, but it feels good. It for as inexpensive as they are, it doesn't feel cheap. I like it. We'll see. And the reports from people that have them, they're shooting extremely tight groups with them.
Yeah,
that's why they've been so hard to get. I had to wait 2 months, 3 months almost, for them to be back in stock.
Yeah, I wonder how well they group with that Hades pellet.
Yeah, I don't know. I will know soon.
I should probably group mine with that and just check it out, because that would be a nice lap gun.
Yeah. So. They're a little underpowered. I think they're 780
just
feet per second. So
you want to...
It's a good plinker, and that's exactly what I bought it for.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're going to be taking out ground squirrels at 100 yards with it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So I got that. I taught a gun cleaning class for the guys at our church group. Had a handful of them show up and just kind of went over basic gun cleaning practices, and it's funny. In the process, so we're kind of getting started and talking about different things, and I started talking about air guns, because I'm like, you don't have to clean an air gun, unless under normal circumstances, there's really not much that you have to do as far as maintenance goes on them. I'm like, they're really
a lot
cool.
less maintenance.
Yeah. You're not blowing dirty gunpowder through them and stuff like that. Anyway, I must have gone on a rant, because at one point one of them was like, "Is this a commercial for Utah air guns?" And I went, "Okay, I'll stop talking about air guns. They're fun. I love talking about them." But anyway, that was cool. I had several guys contact me that said, "Hey, I couldn't make it, but are you going to do it again?" And so I'll probably do some firearm safety classes and some other things that are kind of related to it. I'd like to take a group over to Utah Air Guns and rent out the whole range for an hour and just I've got enough guns now that I can have a gun in every lane for people to shoot.
Let me know if you end up doing that, and you can borrow a couple of mine.
Okay. But yeah, that's about all I did. I've been, as stated, just been busy, and orders have actually been very busy, which this time of the year usually slows down a little bit. It hasn't yet, and I've injured my shoulder, so orders are moving out a little bit slower, and I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to deal with it. It's getting better. But yeah.
All right.
And...
Dun, 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 dun. So I also went to Utah Air Guns, and I picked up some turret stickers.
Oh.
And I also got my tanks filled.
Okay.
In preparation for a squirrel hunt.
Nice.
Ground squirrel hunt.
I thought you were shooting 17s and 22s on this one.
Yes.
Okay, so you took everything.
So, anyways, I was able to go with my son, Noah, and then my brother and his son, who's the same age as Noah. They're both about like 15 or
cool.
15, 16.
Yeah.
And then my brother's father-in-law.
Okay.
And so it was a lot smaller group than previous. But we went out to an undisclosed location, a private ranch, where there are, I would say, ground squirrels in, I don't know, the millions or something. But talking to one of the ranch I think it's the owner's son.
Yeah.
He manages the ranch. They do, so they have cattle. And they have all these alfalfa fields that they've planted.
Right.
And they also do guided hunting tours for, like elk and antelope.
So this is a pretty big ranch.
Dude, it's a really large ranch.
Okay.
Like these lots of rolling green hills of, grass and alfalfa. And so it's a very beautiful place. I went the first time last year, and I was just blown away by the beauty of the actual land and everything. Just so green, and you see the wild antelope running around.
Awesome.
It seems like we have tons and tons of deer around here, and even elk too. You'll see elk, but antelope, I hadn't seen an antelope before.
Really? I see at least one antelope, if not a small herd, every time I drive that section of, it's not 89, the section of highway between Price and I-70.
Oh, okay.
That just barren, nothing desert wasteland.
And you find antelope out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost every single time I see at least one, if not a small herd of them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, anyways, this, when talking with this guy, they had thought about, just poisoning the squirrels. But
that gets scary.
Yeah, well, when you poison the squirrel, I guess there's a new poison that works like super effective. Like it'll just wipe out the entire populations.
That's scary to me.
And I think they've used it in some of the, the Utah ranches and stuff.
Yeah.
And just to get rid of them. Because those squirrels are, they tear up they dig these holes, they tear up the ground, and
it's bad for the agriculture, and it can cause issues with
the
cattle.
cattle. Yeah. So they, instead of doing, just a poison wipe out of all the ground squirrels on those acres and acres and acres of land, they've allowed some private parties of, basically a lot of people who want to get their hunting practice. Yeah. To because it's actually a really good practice to go and shoot ground squirrels. Oh, for sure. You do a lot of, pulling this, spotting it with your eyes. Right. And then you pull up the gun and
get them in the sights.
Get them in the sights. And so.
Well, if you can hit a ground squirrel at 50 yards.
Oh, yeah.
You can hit a deer or an elk a whole lot farther away.
Very true. Very true. So, we were able to go, and I'll say that we provided a service for them. And
they could probably charge people to come and do those hunts.
We ended up, tipping them. Sure. Paying them money for it. Yeah. But, it was last year, we had really good weather and, sunshiny, bright. This year we had clouds and rain pretty much all 3 days. Oh, wow. So it's 3 days of shooting at these things. Yeah. And so they acted differently this year than last year. Last year it was kind of like whack-a-mole. Yeah. You would pick a spot, in a line or something, and then set up with your tripod, whatever, and a chair if you wanted a chair, and then you just wait, and then you just shoot as they pop up and start running, then you shoot them, and so it's just kind of is weird. It's like whack-a-mole with guns. Right. And this year, they would duck into their holes because they would stay close to their holes because of the rain and the bad weather. But they'd, if they're just a little bit of time without the raindrops falling, they'd start poking their heads up, and you'd have to hold still, and so they were more skittish this year. But when I was packing up and preparing to get ready to go on this ground squirrel hunt, then it was you kind of, this might not be the same problem everyone else has, but for me it's like, okay, which guns do I want to take, what stuff am I going to shoot with? Right. And the typical go-to is the 17 HMR. Right. Because, so there's lots of reasons why the 17 is freaking awesome. Right? Sure. One, the cost of ammo. So it's a rimfire cartridge, and it's a little bullet that moves pretty fast. Yeah. Pretty flat. So I believe the 17 grain bullets move about 2,500, 2,550 feet per second, probably depending on the barrel length and whatnot.
Screaming fast, though.
Yeah, so it goes fast, and the ammo's small, so you can get like a 50 round pack, and throw that in a pocket, and then you got 50 rounds. And I think it was about 16. The cost of 17 HMR ammo right now is somewhere between like $16 for 50 on up to like probably 16 to 18 ish. And that, that's what it is.
Still affordable.
Yeah,
even though it's probably way more than it should be.
Yeah, but for what it is, it's way cheaper than what anything else. So like centerfire 223 would probably be the next cheapest. Yeah. Cheapest of the centerfires, and that, I don't know, $10-12 for 20 rounds. Right. Not 50. So, anyways, I packed up Noah's gun and I gave it to him on this trip. It was the Air Venturi Avenger with the Woodstock. Oh, okay. And I put one of the moderators on there too.
And that was in 22, right?
In 22. Okay. I feel like the 22 gives you a good ratio of killing power
Right.
with the shots per tank or
Right.
shots per fill.
The 17 I feel like it doesn't hit hard enough for bigger stuff.
And some of those
And
ground
bigger,
squirrels,
I mean like a ground squirrel.
Yeah, some of the older ones, they're fatties, right?
Oh yeah,
because they just sit there eating alfalfa all day long, and then
right.
Yeah.
So
we brought the two air guns, my two air guns, my crown, of course, the Slayer. I need to get that dipped with black ice coating and to have some kind of the Slayer.
Pictures of ground squirrels exploding all over on it.
Yeah, I think I've killed more like ground squirrels and things with that than any other gun or air gun ever. But anyways, so I brought the crown, and that one has the Vortex LHT, the lightweight hunter scope on. Really lightweight, but clear glass. And
if I remember right, on your last time you did this last year, one of the things you were saying you wish you had was a tripod.
Yes.
And this year, I assume you took a tripod.
Yeah, so that was one of the things. Every time you learn something new, and like I wish I would have brought.
And so was that as big of an advantage for you as you were hoping it would be?
Yes.
Okay.
But that was the norm. So last year it was kind of up in the air, like what equipment people brought, you know, like tables and bench, chairs and that kind of stuff.
Sounds like you were probably moving a little bit more this year than you were the year before.
Yes, correct. So I had bought one of the fancy Athlon tripods.
Oh, okay.
Like the really nice one with the Arca Swiss rail adapter. And I had the adapter for my
fixed onto the tripod.
Yeah, so I could just leave it sitting in the tripod and it would stay. Like I could walk away.
How was that?
I didn't pull it out and use it once.
Yeah.
Because we were more mobile.
Right.
So the other tripod, I also had one of those Bog, like the Bog Death Grip tripods.
Okay.
It was the carbon fiber one. That one's kind of chunky.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
It's a little bit thicker and bulkier, and even though it's carbon fiber, it's still pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And that didn't make it out of my car either.
Okay. And so I'm guessing you went with the Primo.
Yes, I think it's the Primos. Is it the Primos? Shooting stick, like the
trigger stick.
Trigger stick, it's the tripod. So those,
which oddly enough is the least expensive of the three that you've mentioned.
That's what's funny is like last year the guy with the Bog was like he just set up and he was able to just
killing everything.
Kill it, because it's a little bit steadier with that, and you can set up the tension for the panning and the up and down.
Right.
And so, anyways, with those shooting sticks, or I forget what they're called.
Primo? The trigger stick?
Yeah, with those, you pull the trigger and the legs extend to the ground. And so if you're on uneven ground, then it automatically sets up perfectly.
Yeah.
And so with the squirrels being a little more skittish and kind of walking to a new location, setting up, waiting for them to pop up, and then, moving to the next location and doing that by foot instead of driving to each location.
Yeah.
Then those were the hot item. Those were the best. And so air guns versus the 17s.
Yeah.
So the air guns, we ended up using those more than we thought we would.
Yeah. Huh.
And the benefits of the air guns, I think Noah got more kills with the air guns than with the 17s.
Uh-huh.
And I think I was probably 40-60, so 40% of the kills with the air guns and 60% with the 17.
Right.
I was really killing it with the 17.
Yeah.
But there's times where you are like you're in a location where you don't want to take certain shots with 17s, right? But with the air guns, that the bullet's going to drop. They lose it. The pellets
are going to
drop faster and stop, and you're not going to get these ricochets and with the lower velocity, that kind of thing. So you can walk around and shoot closer things. Also, the 17s are a pain in the butt when you are close to, like, like whack-a-mole, if it pops up like 15 feet in front of you,
Yeah.
You have to like hurry and adjust your scope, and it's hard to, you can't really.
Right.
Yeah, so certain shots are just not good with the 17s.
Do you feel like the air guns were more versatile than the 17s were in this situation?
So in this situation, if we were in the more flatter areas where you could take longer, then the 17s were better because you could take a shot from, like, I don't know, 30 yards out to like about 150, 200 stretching it.
Right.
And we did take some pretty long shots, and we did get some good hits
What
with the 17.
What was the longest kill shot, you think?
I think the longest that I took was probably about 150, maybe.
Wow.
My brother, he mounted a Vortex Razor HD Gen 2, like the 4.5 to 27 power, or whatever it goes up to.
Yeah.
And, on this little Tika 17.
Nice.
And he was using one of my erectors, the Q erectors.
Uh-huh.
And with that setup, like, he had sighted in zeroed at 100 yards.
Uh-huh.
And I had zeroed at 50 yards.
Oh.
So there's a...
So he was zeroed to where he could reach out a little further.
He could reach out, and one of the things is I picked up some stickers from Utah Air Guns.
Right.
And he used those on his 17.
Ah.
And so he got a ballistic app, printed out the sheets, and then he stuck the stickers on to match. And then we went out, and when we were shooting, it was pretty close.
Yeah.
So he was able to, dialed
in really quick.
Yeah. So that was...
That's why you want free turret stickers from Utah Air Guns.
Yeah. Don't forget to use that coupon code. But, yeah, anyway, so... and then he brought his air gun. He got one of the Crowns.
Right.
But he left his son's air gun back home. And because previous year, his son just shot the 17 the whole time.
Yeah.
And so Noah and my brother's son, they both had Ruger Precision rimfires in 17 HMR.
Yeah.
And those things were shooting really good.
Those are nice guns.
They were very accurate.
Yeah.
And I think my brother was maybe having buyer's remorse. I mean, his Tika was shooting really good, but the Ruger was doing, I think...
The Ruger was probably cheaper.
yeah, cheaper for what it came with. Right? Yeah. Like, it came in the chassis.
They're set up pretty nice.
Yeah, they're set up really nice. And he just had his plain, cheap, like, plastic stock on the Tika. And the Ruger American rimfires, or the Ruger Precision rimfire magazines, they hold 15 rounds. Yeah. So you can load up those 15 round magazines, and I think the extended magazine for my CZ, I used a CZ 457, and that, like, my extended magazine was 10, as well as my brother's Tika, which was 10 rounds. So, anyways, everybody had silencers on except my brother's father-in-law, and so we just tried to stay away from him. Yeah, because it was kind of loud. But yeah, it was great. The Q Erector, that, I know it doesn't say it's rated for 17 HMR, but I contacted the company and to see if it's okay. Yeah. That one sounds really good. Yeah. Yeah, and then also the Tactical Solutions, what was it, the Axiom? The titanium one I have. Oh yeah. Yeah, that one sounded really good too. And so anyways, those suppressors worked well. And people might wonder why you would throw like a suppressor on something that's supersonic, right? Because it's still going to be loud, but it changes it from like, hey, that kind of that hurts my ears, to like, to not. Yeah. And so it made it really nice having the suppressors. Yeah. So at one of the locations, it was funny because my brother and like pretty much everyone left except me and Noah. And Noah's off to the side, so I kept hearing them really close, because they make the little, like, some people call them whistle pigs. Yeah. They make that little whistly sound. Yeah. And so I ended up going in the back of the truck, and I set up my tripod in the back of the truck. Oh, so it was like
give you some higher ground.
Yes, because we were in a alfalfa field, and it was kind of tall. Right. So it felt like I was in a sniper tower looking down. And I was able to get all these little ones that were poking their heads just out of, just out of the ground. Yeah. And Noah was off on the other direction with his air gun. And that's where he racked up the kills. And I think it was the last day. He ended up beating me.
Oh, wow.
Like, there was one that I shot at and just missed, and then he did the follow-up shot and he got it.
Oh, nice.
And so I think I ended up with like 72 and he was 74 or something. So yeah.
Nice. For the day or
for that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the grand total for the 3 days for
3
everybody?
days of killing.
What kind of a dent did you make in the ground squirrel population?
Dent-wise, I don't think it's much.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had these little clicker counters I bought on Amazon. just so
you didn't have to keep it in your head?
Yeah. And so everyone had one on their belt, and
nice.
Then at the end of the day we'd compare and talk trash, whatever.
Yeah.
My brother last year I beat him, but my brother beat me like just by like 1 or 2 every single day this year.
Huh.
But the advantage
that's if he trusts his clicker.
Yeah. But the other thing is that he had the advantage because they were in the lead vehicle, and we were in the one behind. And so as we're driving down the pass, as soon as they'd see one, he had his air gun in his lap, and so he'd like hurry and jump out and like pop it. And so he was getting all those like easy kills.
All the easy shots.
Yeah. So anyways, but yeah, the grand total, let's just say there were 724 reasons why I was glad I went on that trip.
Wow. That's a lot of lead.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
So how did Noah like his Air Venturi?
Well,
Avenger.
He really enjoyed it, and
good.
I think it was like he really enjoyed walking through that field, and they were just popping up all around him, and he was just like pop pop
nice
with the air gun, stuff like you can take shots with the 17,
right?
And so that was cool. I was gonna say I had 3 no scope kills.
Oh
yeah, where they popped up. About some of them were decent shots for like a no scope shot, know? And the first, I was 2 for 2 on the no scopes. First one was about 15 yards. The other one was about 15 to 20 yards. And then there was one that popped up kind of close. It was like maybe 8 yards or something. It was really close. And, I just lift the gun kind of over my head a little bit or to the side or whatever, and look down the barrel.
Yeah.
And just guesstimate. But the first 2 just pop. And then the last one, it took 3 shots. But anyways, that was whenever you do like a no scope kill, it's pretty legit.
Nice.
But
very cool. Well,
yeah, it was a good trip. Got to spend some father-son time, and
it's always
my vehicle, even though it rained afterwards, I still need a car wash to get all the mud off.
Yeah, I was noticing it. Looks like your car's been having some good times.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Right on.
Anyways, that is it for this episode.
Yep. Thanks for listening and subscribing and telling your friends.
Please tell your friends. Yeah, until next time, stay safe, have fun, and
be nice to people and go shooting. The guy that set up all the roots down there and everything, and he pulled it out.
He was like, that's gross.
Yeah.
And get the dead deer out of the water.
Well, and I think probably with him saying, I'll go do it, they're like, I'm not going to tell you can go do that. Then we're liable for whatever. And